Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg. This is my YouTube channel. Alright, tonight we're going to do a little bit of preventative maintenance on this Lionel 8650 Burlington Northern. And boy is he a beauty. I have really enjoyed having this. Now, I've never actually looked him up in the value guide, which, you know, I don't care anything about the value, but I wanted to know what years he came out. So I looked him up, and it turns out this guy came out in 1976 and was produced until 1977. And that was very interesting to me because my very first train was the Southern 8302, and that came out about the same time. So I was very surprised that this was the same age because they're quite different other than I guess they're both green. Anyway, I guess we're going to get this guy apart. No major issues with this guy other than we've just run him a whole lot, and I noticed that he looks like seems like he's getting a little slower, but you know, that could be my imagination or maybe just paranoid. No telling. But anyway, I think it wouldn't hurt to get him opened up, you know, get him lubricated, get him cleaned up, and just, you know, take a little look around, see what we can see. You know, it never hurts to maintain your trains a little bit, or a lot. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to get this tripod moved around, and you guys know the drill. We're going to open this guy up and take a look. Let's do it. Okay, guys, I got this guy up here on the work area, also known as my stovetop. And we're going to get him apart, and we're going to see what we see. I already got out the screwdriver, and we'll see what we do. Seems like the last bunch of things that we've done, we wind up getting out the soldering iron. I'm really hoping not to get out the soldering iron today. We really shouldn't need to get out the soldering iron every time we turn around. All right, so we got one screw out. We're working on the next one. Make sure we are still on the camera. We are. I am the world's worst about getting stuff off the camera, and I apologize for that. We're working on it, though. I'm getting better, I think. So, all right, let's get this apart. Just 2 screws. So, all right. You know, I was at Walmart the other day, and I almost got a parts cup. But I didn't. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I didn't. All right, so this guy should come off here. I think these little arms, the railings, there you go, hold the shell on. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a bend here, and we're going to just kind of work this guy out. You know, we don't need to be in any big hurry because we don't want to scratch the shell with the arms. So all right. So I did not know that this light was in here like this. Let's see, did they make? Yes, they did. They made it with a little snap. I'm actually impressed. That's very atypical of Lionel, especially NPC era. All right, cool. So this is what the inside of it looks like. Okay, so here's the inside. Let's talk about what we got here. So here's the motor. You know, that's important, right? And then we have the relay, the E unit, if you will. And this is what makes the train go forwards, reverse, and, you know, neutral in between. I just noticed that it has a lever to take it out of E unit, and I'm actually surprised I left it in there because I generally don't reverse my trains, and so I'm always fighting with the trains reversing. So we may just flip that lever when we get done here. So all right, so first thing I want to do is I want to take a look, and I want to see how we're doing on lubrication here. So let's see, let me get this zoomed out so it will focus. So all right, it's not horrible, but it wouldn't hurt to get some. So we'll do that before we get it back. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess, if we get back together, because we can always do it from here. So all right, so that's looking pretty good. So like I said, this guy has been running a little slower than I think he ought to. So I think what we ought to do is we ought to pull these brushes out, and we ought to take a look at the brushes, and then see if the armature needs to be cleaned, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's get to doing that. Okay, so let's get these screws out of here, and this whole top plate should come off. I say should. Sometimes they're a little temperamental, a little uncooperative. So all right, there's one screw. I don't feel like this has ever been apart, so sometimes when these slow down, the problem is that carbon will get in between the brush plates, or not the brush plates, the armature plates. There we go. And what happens is that increases the resistance to the point that the motor at one point or some point won't work anymore. It's all right. So this guy kind of pries up. I know he does. You gotta be really, really careful when you do this. So just be really patient. Take it really slow. It will come off. Just gotta have a little bit of patience with it. It been on here a day or two. All right, so it just moved. There it goes. It's coming off now. So I think I can get my screwdriver between here now. All right, excuse my hands. I know they are quite in the way. So all right, let's get this to where you guys can see it a little bit better when I get it opened up. So all right, this just pulls off here. The brushes are going to fall out, so don't freak out if you're not used to that. So all right, this is what it looks like inside. Those, I call them brush tunnels, are pretty filthy. And here's a brush number 1, brush number 2. This armature is actually quite filthy. Let me get this zoomed in to where you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So yeah, that guy is definitely in need of some cleaning and some service. So that's probably our issue. So all right, let me get out a fiberglass pencil and I'll be right back. Okay everybody, I'm back with the fiberglass pencil. Boy, this guy is really rough looking. So all right, let's see here. Wow, yeah, that's pretty tough. So can you see the difference already? That's all right. So like I was saying, sometimes the carbon will build up in between the two plates here. I'm trying to do this to where you guys can see. Not being too cooperative. So you want to take and kind of get in there. This fiberglass pencil is adjustable on the depth, so we can get some more of it out there, so we can get in between here. All right, excuse my fingers. All right, let's see what else we got here. Just continue on. Looking pretty good so far. All right. So we have run the heck out of this guy, so I'm not all that surprised. And I didn't open them up and service them quite like this when I got him. When I got this guy, I don't think he had actually seen much track time. This was a veteran that owned this that I think just never had much time to play with it. So all right, coming along pretty good here. All right, I want to get this really good, especially in between the plates. Excuse me, I know my fingers are in the way. So all right, so cool. That looking pretty doggone good. So it won't hurt to kind of clean up the shaft here a little bit too, just because it's got to go in there. And so anyway, as you can see, it is nice and shiny now, pretty good. So on these, what I call brush tunnels, I usually just use some alcohol and some Q-tips. The Q-tips fit in there pretty well. You got to be careful not to let the Q-tip catch your spring in there, or if you do, you need to be careful that you don't bend or get some fibers in there. So anyway, all right, let me go get the Q-tips. I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, I have the Q-tips here. Get a little alcohol on here, and we're just gonna do this pretty much like you would imagine. All right, there's quite a bit of debris and garbage in here. So, all right, we're just gonna clean this. I'm hoping that's staying focused for you. So yeah, just like this, and see how dirty it is. That's not the way it should be. So cool. Or not cool, depending upon how you want to look at it, I guess. All right, so Let me get this other one. I won't be done with this part. It's pretty simple. The hardest part about this particular one is getting it open. Like I said, if you're careful and you're patient, you can do it. Just remember that it has been a part for a number of years, so it may need a little bit of love and a little bit of patience. So, all right, that is quite nasty as well. So cool. All right, so I'm liking that. They are looking pretty good. So I'm just going to kind of take and clean up some of this black stuff that I'm seeing in here. I know exactly what that is. Oh my goodness. I don't know, but it's pretty disgusting. I think we could probably say that this guy has not been serviced in either a good long time or at all, as far as, you know, this particular servicing goes. This is probably considered a major service. I don't know. All right, so now we're going to see if we can get these brushes back in this plate. And sometimes you can get them in and make them go without messing with the springs, and other times you got to mess with the springs. So which one will it be? Well, we'll see here in a minute. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of giving the brushes a little cleaning. I could have shown you guys, I guess, what I was doing. So all right, probably not necessary, but I like to do it anyway. So all right, so here's the little brushes. I'm going to zoom this out so maybe it'll maintain the focus a little bit better. So here's the brushes, and it's not maintaining the focus any better, I see. And they just go into a little brush tunnel like this, and as you can see, they got a little bit of a spring to them. You want these to move freely in here. If they don't, then you've got a problem, an issue that you need to address. So, all right. So far, so good. Okay, so I'm going to figure out how I need to do this, and I'm hoping I can do it in a way that you can see. Obviously, this guy can't turn upside right totally because, you know, the brushes would dump out, and we don't want that. So I just try to sneak him in here. Didn't quite make it, but I think it is doable. Got a wire back here that's kind of impeding my progress a little bit. So all right, let's try it again. I think the more sideways I can get it, the better. So all right, let me get this guy to cooperate for just another minute. We're gonna have it. And I think we have it. So all right, cool. So I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod for a minute and just show you guys that the brushes are indeed still in there. If you see the armature after you do this, you've done it wrong. You lost your brushes. So all right, let me get this back on the tripod. That's funny unless it's you. Then it's not so funny. All right, so this guy's pretty well on here. So let's see. Let me make sure he's gonna turn. He is. He's turning nice and freely. And we'll give this guy a drop of oil, because obviously you can't get to this unless you remove the shell, and frankly I don't think that shell's ever been off. So yeah, that may be part of the problem as well. So all right, let's see. I just need to find the screws, you know. Once again, I'll lecture everybody about you need a parts cup, and then I won't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. So all right, I did find the screws. One of these days I will buy a parts cup, I promise I will. Until then, you just have to kind of grin and bear it, I guess. I'll have to just kind of grin and bear it. Okay, so I'm going to get this, get this tilted a little bit so we can see a little bit better. Trying to get this to where there's not a lot of times that you can't see what's going on, because I know it's really frustrating if you can't see what's going on. So, all right. Let's see. I feel like I got not quite the correct screw tip here, but we can make it work. So, all right. Oh my goodness, it's moving around quite a bit there. My hand's in the way. Pardon. It's all right. That's not crazy tight, but tight. I think that'll work. We'll make sure it still turns freely. It does. So all right, I'm gonna go get some oil and some grease, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the oil and I'm back with the grease. I'm gonna give this a little bit of lubrication here. I can tell that this guy has never had a drop of oil up here, or not in recent memory anyway. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna give him a little spin, see how he does. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, that's really good right there. So all right, cool deal. Very, very cool. So all right. The only thing we have to do now is we need to get these wheels greased, or the not the wheels. Don't grease the wheels. Get the get the gears greased. There you go. I knew I'd get it out sooner or later. So all right. So on this guy you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gears. You may not can see the most inner ones because they are hiding pretty good, but I promise you they are there. So all right, so the way you want to do this is sparingly but sufficient. How's that for a description? So all right, I'm going to try to get this to where you guys can see. Yes, that's pretty good. All right, so I got to see a hair or something there. All right, so what I usually do is I just take a little bit of this white lithium and I put it on my finger, and I'll just put it up against this gear. Just kind of spread it on there, and then I just rotate it, and what do you know, it just kind of spreads itself out. All right, working pretty good so far. All right, and then just kind of wipe the excess off in places that you don't necessarily want it, or where it might fling off. Because if you get the white lithium on your track, while it's not the end of the world, it certainly will make your trends not very happy for a little while till that grease wears off. And grease is well, I won't say permanent, but it lasts longer than you would want it to in that situation. So I'm going to get some more grease on this bigger gear, which will get it on also the smaller gears. So that's a lot of grease right there. I probably should try to get some of that off. All right, it's not really a kind of a perfect science, but you do want to get it in there. Oh wow, yeah, that's good. So yes, cool deal. So all right, I'm liking this so far. I'll get the excess off once again. Just kind of wipe it out. Use our Q-tip. All right, so that looks pretty good, I think. Give it a few more spins here. All right, yes, I'm liking that quite a bit. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to get a transformer, and we'll get us some power up here on the counter. There was a sound it was making that I wasn't real happy about, but you know, sometimes they just make sounds. But I just want to make sure that we aren't damaging anything or something's going on that I'm not seeing from this vantage point. So let's do that, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody. So I have the transformer, and of course, you know, a wire. And what we're going to do is we're going to give power to this guy. You know, make sure that we are happy with the way he runs, the way he sounds. Because, like I said, he made kind of a weird sound before, but I think we probably have identified it and addressed it. Anyway, so if you're my age and you grew up with the little Ken motors in your toys and never played with those, you might be inclined to hook the power here and here, because that's where the two brushes are. Don't. That's not the way this motor works. This motor actually has a coil below here, and the power has to run to one side of the coil, out the coil to one side of the motor, and then the other side of your polarity goes to here. So in other words, you can't just hook it directly to the brushes. This is what I'm saying. So what you can do, if it has a light, generally speaking, that's going to be your pickup So what you can do is you can hook one side of your power here, and then you can possibly see that the other side, the red wire, is hooked here. So we can hook it here and here, and that'll emulate it being on the track, which might be a little easier than the other way, which would be either to put it on a track or just to put power here and here. Now the problem with that idea is that in order for this E-unit to work, it has to be up and down. And the reason for that is it takes gravity for this lever to move up and down when it cycles. So generally speaking, what will happen is this guy will be in neutral when we give it some power. And I'm going to try to do this to where you guys can see, and my fingers are still clear. So all right, so this should be neutral. Now it may not be, but most of the time it will be. See, that's neutral. And that's either forwards or reverse. All right, so I'm happy with that. Neutral. And the other way. So that's about as smooth as silk. That's pretty good. So all right, let's get this guy put back together. We'll put him back on the track, and we'll see how we did. I think we probably did pretty good. Seems to be running a little bit better. Definitely sounding a lot better. I don't know, they kind of sound like a thrashing machine there for a minute. They do need service. So all right, let's get this body back on here and let's get on with it. All right guys, let's get this shell back on here. Now word to the wise, you want to make sure that your hands are fairly clean after messing with all this stuff, because this black grime will get on them from the repairs that we did. I think it's carbon. And anyway, if you get it on this shell, you will find it very difficult to get it off sometimes. So just if you keep your hands clean, you don't have to worry much about it. So all right, that's just something that I learned. I learned it the hard way. So all right, this light just snaps into this little clip right here. And once again, I'm pretty impressed they actually did that. So all right, see if I can do it now that I said it was really easy. So all right, it looks like it maybe goes in and then just back. So all right, yep, I got it. So cool. So all right, so the back of this, will go on really easily. And I usually try to line the back up with the peg, make sure it's not on the wrong side. And then these handrails will have to be kind of maneuvered around a little bit. You need to be really patient because they will scratch your locomotive shell, and you don't want that to happen. You really don't. I promise you don't. All right, so just ever so slowly. So all right, and then when you get it down, you got to snap them in. Sometimes they are a little bit of a pain, but once again, patience is the key on all of this stuff. So all right, I got that guy pretty good, I think. All right, so the only thing left to do is to put the 2 screws in either end, and believe it or not, we still have the screws. We haven't lost them just yet. So let's do that. So sometimes these don't line up exactly because the handrail might be pressing it one way or the other, but if you kind of pivot the shell one way or another, you can find it. I mean, it's not going to be far off. All right, so let's get the back done, and we're going to get this guy on the track, and I hope he's a lot happier because this is once again one of my favorites. All right, so that I think I went in there without a lot of hassle, a lot of drama. So all right, so when you're putting these on, you don't want to get the first end that you do totally tight, because this end may need to move around, and it is possible that if you get this too tight and go to move it around, you could crack your shell, and believe me, that will ruin your day. It will not make you happy. All right, so we got this guy all put back together. We are ready to put him on the track. Let's go do it. All right, everybody, we have the Lionel 8650 Burlington Northern here on the track that we just did the maintenance on, and we're going to give him a run. I did go ahead and flip the lever on the bottom side, so he will only go forwards. I don't know why I didn't think to do that earlier. I mean, you know, at some point we may want him to be able to do the backwards forwards thing, but for what we have in here, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah. All right, so let's get him going. I think we're about ready to go. I'm anxious to see if he runs well, is smooth or whatever. Now, I've given him the honor, and it is an honor, a very true honor, that he's going to get to pull the 90th anniversary Mickey Mouse cars. So that's kind of special. That's cool. All right, so this ought to look nice. Let's see. Wow, that is just as smooth as glass, guys. And he's not making that sound anymore. So yes. So far, successful. Very, very successful. All right. Cool deal. All right, so when he gets back around, we're going to speed him up. I'm running him slow on purpose. Let that grease work itself in. So, all right. Let's get it sped up. Let's do it. It's hard to argue with that. Very nice. So tonight, for visual interest, I decided that since we discovered that this guy was made the same 2 years that my Southern 8302 was made in my very first train set, I thought we would run them together, and that might look kind of cool. Now it's kind of funny, because when I saw that the Burlington Northern is green, which of course, green is its color. Then I noticed that the 8302, of course, is green as well. I thought to myself, did they get a deal on paint? But no, the 8302 is a completely different green. So anyway, they're both very stunning. The green and black, it looks really nice together. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get it going. So cool. Your first train set will make you grin forever. So, all right, we're going to let these guys run around the track a few times, and then, as per usual, we will drop it to the ground, like you guys seem to like, and we'll see what's going on. I think it'll be pretty cool. Might go ahead and get the center gauge kind of pulled around to where it's kind of out of the way of our video. I have to move it several times, but I know where to put it because I have done it before. Alright, so if you put them over here, you can do your shots on one side and then you do your shots on the other. Alright, so let's get this dropped to the ground. Let's see what's going on. Let's do it. All right, everybody, this has been the preventative maintenance of the Lionel 8650 Burlington Northern. The guy is running really smooth now, and doesn't sound like a thrashing machine, and is running normal speeds. Hey, amazing what a little bit of maintenance will do. We run the heck out of that guy, and he has held up really well. Now, while we were doing the servicing, we looked up the age and we found that the one that he's running with right now, the Lionel Southern 8302, actually came out at the same time. So that was cool to know. So I thought it'd be cool to run them together. Now we gave the Burlington Northern the privilege of running with the Mickey Mouse cars behind him, and man, does that look sharp. That black roof and the black cars, wow, that's just really awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna let these two run around the track a few more times, and then we're probably gonna call it about it. Alright guys, so it's come to the point in the video that I'm going to say that if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. That's the only way that we know what you guys like. So, you know, if you give it a thumbs up, we'll do more of that type of thing. If you don't give it a thumbs up, we'll do something else. So, yeah. Anyway, for our returning subscribers, thank you. We could not do this without you. Literally, I mean, you are the lifeblood of the channel. Without you guys, this would, well, be nobody watching, would it? It would be nothing. So anyway, yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate your friendship, your camaraderie, your suggestions, your comments. Seriously, you guys are the best. Thank you for putting up with what I call train shenanigans. And yeah, we got plenty of those going on. So all right, if you're not yet a subscriber, hey, smash that subscribe button, man. You don't want to miss stuff like this. You really don't. So all right, yeah. So okay guys, I think we're going to call this about it for tonight. I have had a lot of fun doing this. We're still trying to tweak the live stream stuff, and man, I needed a break from all that. I really did. So this was a pleasant little reprieve, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. All right guys, well, thank you for watching. GGS Railways out.